This story happened about 6 months ago. Although it didn't happen to me, it still creeps me out to the bone. It was a Friday night, and I was attending a friend's sleepover/birthday party. There were about 7 of us in total at the party. The party started out as us playing games from FIFA to Call of Duty. We eventually got bored and decided to go do something we all thought would be funny: ding-dong ditching. For those who don't know what ding-dong ditching is, it's where you go up to some houses, knock, and then run off. We eventually got our coats on and headed out. We knocked on about 10 to 20 houses until we came up to a shady-looking neighborhood. It looked pretty deserted, to be honest, and gave me the chills. One of us, let's call him Josh, said we should go ding-dong ditching there. The others agreed and started walking into the neighborhood. I didn't want to look like a pussy to any of them, so I decided to tag along. We got towards the end of the street, and we came up to sort of a small-looking house. It looked pretty empty, but Josh said he wanted to go knock on the house. The rest of us were too afraid to, as the house did look pretty sketchy. We told Josh we were going to start walking back to our friend's, let's call him Harrison, house, and told him to catch up to us after he was done knocking. We walked for 2 or 3 minutes and thought, where was Josh? Ding-dong ditching only takes 20 to 30 seconds. We eventually started to panic, as we knew something wasn't right. We decided to go back to the house and search for him. At first we thought it was a bad idea, but then our friend came to mind. What if he was in trouble? We couldn't just leave him behind. We walked up to the house and saw nothing. No one was outside of the house. One of us said that we should knock on the house and see if anyone was inside. We knocked. No answer. We knocked again. No answer. Then, while my friends were knocking for the 3rd time, I swear to God, I saw a pair of eyes staring directly into my soul from inside of the house. I told my friends and we bolted down the path leading to the house. We eventually talked amongst each other. I thought something was clearly wrong in that house, because who would just stare at us from the window like that? We eventually decided to go back to Harrison's house to do some research on this house. What we read freaked me out so much that I can't describe what I saw. On an article we read, it stated that the house has been vacant for 4 years after the family that previously lived there was killed by an intruder. We decided to call the cops. The cops showed up to our house 10 minutes later. We described everything we saw, and they asked us to lead them to the house. They told us to get back to our house, and they would immediately come back after searching the house. An officer came back 2 hours later, and what he told us scared the living shits out of me. The officer went into the house and brought out a dirty-looking man, maybe in his late 40s. He found our friend Josh tied up on a bed with only his underpants on. He then brought our friend outside and brought him to the police station. And that's not the scariest part. Our friend told us a month later the whole story. He told us that he walked up to the house, knocked, then ran. He thought that he was safe, so he eventually slowed down and started to walk. What he didn't know was that the sick fuck was following him. The man grabbed Josh, covering his mouth, and dragged him back into the house. Josh was tied up and stripped of all his clothing, except for his underpants. That's when the man heard us knocking on the door and then left the room. He didn't come back, and the next thing he knew, 20 minutes had passed, and a police officer ran in, took my friend, and drove him to the police station. The man was sent for prison for attempted rape, and we never heard of anything from the police since. Ever since this incident, We haven't, and we're not planning on ever going ding-dong ditching again. Knowing that what happened to Josh can happen to anyone, even you.